Jennifer Capriati getting ready to go on day 4 at the U.S. Open. Already Marat Safin, the men's defending champ. Tim Henman, Marcelo Rios have won. Kim Clijsters, the 5 seed, has advanced on the women's side. Let's check in now with Bill McAtee and Tracy Austin.
Chris, thank you very much. We are just underway. Jennifer Capriati. And what has this weight been like for her, Tracy Austin?
That is very difficult because the men's match, you never know, could take an hour and a half, you know, an hour if somebody gets injured, so you have to be here ready to go just in case. Or it could take the 3 hours that it took. It would take about 3 hours?
3.5.
3.5. So it's very tough because you get psyched up mentally, get the right amount of food.
Evie Dominikovic is her opponent. She's ranked 67 and she's playing in her first U.S. Open, so the weight was no easy period for her.
She's waited her whole life.
Exactly. But she won her first round match in 43 minutes. These two played each other at the Australian Open in '99.
40-30.
Bill Capriati won that match 8-6 in the third, but this is a completely different Jennifer Capriati. That time she wasn't #2 in the world, didn't have 2 Grand Slams under her belt, not this much confidence. And believe me, Evie went into this match feeling different playing this Jennifer Capriati. She knows she's a much more consistent, much more fit Jennifer Capriati.
Jennifer, now 25 years old, comes down in Florida, and that ranking all the way up to #2, and she has a very good chance to be #1. Footfall called, take over for Martina Hingis. Lindsay Davenport also has a chance, but Jennifer really has the best opportunity.
Lindsay's chance is very, very slight, very slim. And Jennifer, if she doesn't do it here, which, you know, she has a chance, she's most definitely, if she keeps having good results, will do it in the fall because she'll be replacing better results with less points from last fall. And she's just got a ton of points for winning the Australian and the French. That's points towards the computer.
Dominikovic survives the early break point. Back to deuce.
Dominikovic broke into the top 100 for the first time this year. From Australia, 5'8". Nice motion on that first serve. Good whip.
Juice.
Dominikovic, who broke into the top 100 for the first time this year. Jennifer will have another break chance here in the first game of the match.
Little breeze down there, blowing from Dominikovic's right to left, so more of a side wind. You really have to pay attention because it changes throughout the match.
Second break point saved. Deuce. Jennifer's dad, Stefano Capriati.
Back to being her coach as well. 106-mile-an-hour first serve. Dominikovic grew up with the same time Lena Dokic did in Australia, playing together. The juniors there.
Juice.
Chanda Rubin, after her courageous effort, getting ill during her match, able to win the first set of her match today. Chanda feeling the effects of the extremely warm weather that we had at the start of the week here in New York.
Third double fault already. I talked to Benny Sims, Chanda's coach. He said he thinks that also she didn't eat something that was great right before the match. She had a touch of food poisoning as well. That's what he said. I think the heat contributed immensely as well.
Juice.
Yep. Back to deuce we go.
Advantage Dominikovic.
Called out. So Dominikovic with another game point.
Game, Dominikovic.
Finally, she survives 3 break points.
First game.
Here's this portion of the women's draw.
Next up for the winner of this match, Toronto Pascual Fouth. At the top there, Maggie Mileva got upset earlier today to Alicia Mullock, another Australian. Barbara Schett, 19th seed, former top 10 player from Austria. She's back to playing much better. Barbara Schett took out Venus Williams in the first round of the French Open this year.
Jennifer Capriati to serve.
I think Jennifer is glad to have that first round match here at the Open, Bill, out of the way. It's always tougher in the Grand Slam to play that first match, a little extra nerves. She played a night match. She doesn't love playing at night.
Love 15.
Some players are comfortable in the spotlight. How comfortable do you think Jennifer is in the spotlight? Because it certainly is on her.
Yeah, you know, I think she's much more comfortable with it now, and that's key to her success. I don't think that she loved it particularly about 3 years ago, and that's you know, maybe one of the reasons she didn't want to have the success. Wasn't ready for all the media attention. It's interesting with her success this time. She really has not done any extra endorsements other than the clothing, the rackets. Doesn't do any extra press other than what she needs to do.
It's long.
Rarely seen an extra interview with Jennifer Capriati other than the ones that she does after the match, which you're basically required to do after you play each round. And I think that's smart. I really do. She's decided in this, I call her second career, the second comeback, she just focusing on the tennis. Continuing her training, works with Pat Etcheberry as well as Karen Burnett in the fitness department. Her dad's her coach on the court. I think she has a good system worked out, and she feels comfortable with it and just wants to focus on the tennis.
She's playing doubles here with Martina Hingis. That's long, and mixed doubles with her brother.
That's right, got a wild card with her brother Stephen, you see on the left there, and mother Denise on the right. Stephen, who also played with her at Wimbledon. They got a wild card there as well. And Jennifer says makes her so happy that Stephen gets to play at the Grand Slams.
1 game on.
Let's take a look at her serve. Nice relaxed motion. Look how she gets that whip down the back, brings the foot forward for balance. Good wrist snap, and the toss so much better. When she was struggling 3-4 years ago, Bill, that toss was all over the place, and so often when it was a wild toss, she wouldn't catch it. She'd chase after it, produce a lot of wild serves. Brother Stephen, who was a senior at the University of Arizona, actually came back to New York. He's Jen's hitting partner. Plays on the team there.
Love 30.
You know, Bill, so much of the time we've talked about Jennifer's success this year and the fitness being the big thing and the big difference. She's getting to so many more balls. I think there are a lot of contributing factors, and one is that her family's getting along so well. Denise, Stefano, divorced, but getting along very well. I think you know, Stephen as her hitting partner, having her brother here, and quite often at tournaments. Great for Jennifer.
That you.
All. Jennifer making her 10th appearance at the U.S. Open. She made it to the semifinals back in 1991. To Monica Seles. 3-set tiebreak.
Bill, Jennifer hates talking about that match, but you can't help but talk about it because nobody had seen two players hit the ball that hard, that consistently, so close to the lines, I think, before that match.
Another break chance. Jennifer will get a second serve. There is the break. She had 3 in the first service game for Dominikovic. Couldn't break, but gets it there at 2-1 now.
Leads 2 games
Over at the grandstand. Chandler. Look at the proximity of the two main stadiums here at the National Tennis Center. It's 2-all. Dominikovic is serving at love 30.
15-30.
So Jennifer breaks, but then the youngster comes right back. Evie Dominikovic, ranked 67 in the world. Dominikovic tried to qualify twice before to get into the Open in '98 and 2000, but fell short. It was a wild card at the Australian Open. Dominikovic got to the 3rd round in Australia as a wild card. She was ranked number 129 then, and got a nice win over Patty Schneider, ranked number 24 at the time.
Juice.
Take a look at Dominikovic's serve. Sometimes she throws in a boomer, sometimes just the top spin. That one goes more for the top spin. Top spin serve goes about 85 miles per hour. The boomer can get up to 100. But I like her continuous motion.
Advantage Capriati.
Oh, great chance for Capriati now.
Game,
Long. Capriati back out on top after 3 straight service breaks. 3-2 Capriati serving when we return. Now Brad Faxon, after a nice showing at the PGA Championship, among those on hand at the National Tennis Center today. Brad a little disappointed that he was not able to make the Ryder Cup team, which was one of his goals at the start of the year, but still a fine year on the PGA Tour for Brad Faxon. Jennifer Capriati trying to consolidate the break at 3-2 and 15 love.
Bill, we talked about the long wait before this match because the men took such a long time to play. I had to wait a long time before I played Martina in the final in '81 because they always had Super Saturday, the men's semis, and then the women's final sandwiched in between, and then another men's semis. So that's another reason why I like that prime time Saturday. The last Saturday, the women's final is right at 8 o'clock. Yeah, because we had to wait so long for Janny Mac to take out Vita Scarolitis, and your nerves are shot before you get on. I mean, so this time, whoever's in the finals, they know exactly the time that they need to warm up, that they need to eat, that they need to stretch before a Grand Slam final, and I think that's terrific.
That's second serve.
Second serve. Neither player especially sharp coming in. Prior to this game, both had 1 winner and 13 unforced errors.
Game, Capriati.
Love game from Jennifer. And she is able to
Capriati leads
make that break stand up. It's 4-2.
Jennifer, you can just feel it starting to get that rhythm. Ground strokes more penetrating.
Andre Agassi will be up next. After a 3-hour and 30-minute match from defending champion Marat Safin, who finally got through. Love.
15.
Toss got a little bit behind her for a first serve. 80-mile-an-hour second serve. Not too bad, but Jennifer just pounding it in the corners. Jennifer's always had such technically sound ground strokes.
15-40.
Dominikovic with a bit of a big swing on the forehand side, and I thought that might be once in a while give her trouble because with Capriati power, the ball comes so quickly.
Clean winner, up a second break, and when we come back, Jennifer Capriati will serve for the first set.
Capriati leads 5 games.
Jennifer Capriati has won 11 of the last 12 points. We're joined by
Love 15.
Our buddy John McEnroe. There's the third
I missed you,
double.
Bill. I mean, I just couldn't bear to
You had to
stay
come
away
back?
too long. Tracy's got this elegant outfit, a little red today. You are. Just thank God they allow colors in here. Yeah. Wimbledon, they'd freak out.
Predominantly white.
15-all.
There we go. What are your thoughts on?
There it is. Hey, let me fix my tie. Okay.
You look very
You're
nice.
looking good these days, Johnny Mac.
Thank you. I'm not, you know, I'm no Patrick Rafter, but I'm trying.
What are your thoughts on Jennifer Capriati?
Listen, I mean, I'd take nothing away from these other players that are out there, but I can't wait for the this potential semi. Friday, a week from tomorrow, Friday, Venus Williams versus Jennifer Capriati. Now that's going to be a match. Now who am I discounting or upsetting here?
I don't think anybody on that side. Kim Clijsters
I like quite a bit.
played Venus Williams in the quarterfinals, but you know Mileva, who Jennifer Capriati was supposed to play first seed, up. She lost today.
Oh.
Maresmo's on her quarter.
I like Malik though. She's got a lot of talent, Australian. She beat Mileva. Is that what you said?
She did.
She's got a big game. See, they're getting bigger in the women's side too. It's not just the men's.
They're all big, except for Justine Ennen. 5'6". She's tiny. I tell you, I saw her in the Players Lounge the other day. She's about an inch taller than me. Not that big.
Game, first set.
Cruise control for Jennifer.
28 minutes is all it took for Capriati. 6-2. And let's check in with Summer Sanders.
All right, thanks, Bill. I'm here with Steve Nash of the Dallas Mavericks, who's had an awesome off-season. You've been traveling all over the place. What you been doing?
I've been all over. I've been to, I lived in London for a month this summer, which is great. And I went to Wimbledon, checked it out, so I feel like an official tennis groupie.
You really kind of are. And you had a pretty good season with the Canadian national team. You guys qualified for the World Championships.
Yeah, we just got back from Argentina, so I got a little cold, long trip, but it's been good.
But you made it out here for more tennis. Did you ever play?
Just with my dad. My dad, right now in the winters, lives in Scottsdale. I think he's the champion of his tennis ladder in Scottsdale, so I'm just the wannabe.
My big question is, Mark Cuban, your owner, who's quite boisterous during a basketball game, do you think he could handle it here at a tennis match if maybe he owned one of the players or something?
It'd be a little loose. I think if Mark owned one of the players, they'd have the best season of their lives, at least off the court. If he owned Jennifer, they'd have a pretty good party. I know that.
Talking about next season, Tim Hardaway is a good get for you guys. He's going to be backing you up. What's that going to be like?
It's going to be great for me. Tim Hardaway was like my idol when I was in college, so it's going to be great to learn from him and hopefully gain some experience from him.
Now, I know one of your heroes you said is Mr. John McEnroe, huh?
You're not supposed to tell him that on air. I was going to ask him if I could buy him a beer, but
yeah.
I don't know. What about that, John?
I'm all set.
He's all set.
What time is he talking about?
I'm ready.
What time are you talking about?
I'm talking as soon as he gets off. I'll be waiting. I'm the groupie, remember?
How about before I get off?
Just look for the guy in the bright orange shirt, all right?
Can't miss him.
Back to you guys.
Johnny Mac will be off about 11 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, we got Andre Agassi coming next. I mean, this may be
Is that a basketball player who's not 6'8"?
Well, I think
measly 6 feet tall?
He's a heck of a player, too.
Second set.
Saw him in college. Outstanding. You know, Mark Cuban treats his players very well in Dallas. They all have like the latest video games. They're right in their locker.
That's important.
It's nice.
Make sure those
big easy
mature players have those video games. That's good.
Doesn't he have like 9 assistant
Aren't you
coaches?
trying to get your daughter not to play video games? Professional basketball
so I can play.
Hey, if you're that rich, you might as well keep your players happy.
That's right. As we start the second set, love 15. 21-year-old Evie Dominikovic.
Does he seem okay, Tracy? I mean, less irritable. Is Jennifer okay today? Denise is coming up here going after you. You better watch out.
Oh, you're talking too much, Johnny Mac. She was not going after me. She was a little irritable the other night on that one overrule. I mean, compared to you, she was not irritable at all.
Well, then, keep it in perspective.
Sandrine Testu, and a tough 3-setter. Malik from Australia. The one.
Malik. Oh, so it was Malik. Okay. Thanks for
I didn't want to correct
not
you.
tripping me up there. That's
He had the tightest nets here, tighter than any other Grand Slam.
I wonder why that is, Tracy. I don't know if you have an answer, but why do they have nets that are so different? Where at Wimbledon, where you would need it to be tighter because the grass court is softer, it's very soft there. And here, where the ball's going to bounce up because you're on a hard court, it's tight as a drum.
So tight that a couple of Jennifers that have hit the net have actually gone out. Not today, but the other day. Actually gone long.
(40-30).
40-30.
Well, one thing you better do when it's windy, which the wind's kicked up some, Tracy, is you've got to move your feet. And this, I'm going to let you pronounce Dominikovic.
Very good.
Got it.
Dominikovic needs to move her feet, especially against such a big hitter. Or else she's going to be watching Agassi in a few minutes.
It's always important to move your feet, but exactly right. In the wind, you've got to keep those little steps going until just the last second, just before you set up to get that good balance. Take those big loping steps and the wind blows the ball away. You're most likely going to hit an air. Great shot. It was interesting talking to Pat Etcheberry last night about the difference training between Monica Seles and Jennifer Capriati. He said when he started with Jennifer, he needed to move on more quickness drills, the movement drills on the court, throwing tennis balls to her this way, that way. There's Pat Etcheberry. When he worked with Seles, he said she needed to get stronger, so they were in the weight room an awful lot. He said Jennifer's very, very strong, so they don't have to do as many weights. She's always had that.
He's getting more airtime now than Balotelli used to. And he must be steaming down in Florida. He's on a flight as we speak. Good overall. Is that Jane?
I haven't seen Nick this year.
Well, that's why his steam coming out of his ears. You keep mentioning Etcheberry's name. Jane
Harvey.
Harvey, thank you, with a nice overall.
Advantage Dominikovic.
Well, Dominikovic was a qualifier at Indian Wells and won her first match and then got the best win of her career over number 12, Natalie Tozia. It's a yet to beat a player in the top 10.
Natalie Tozia is going to retire after this year. She's 33 years old.
Wasn't she retiring the last couple of years?
She was, but she was still in the top 10. It's tough to retire when you're still playing that well.
Tell your buddy that then, Pat Rafter. Tough to retire when you're in the top 10. Don't do us to us.
This is a replay of the first game of the first set. It went so long.
Great kick, but the wind doesn't blow that one in. Now, Borg, where was he? He was still pretty much at the top of the game when he retired. When he walked out of this U.S. Open after an earlier loss than he expected and didn't come back.
He was, ranked number 2 in the world at that time, and had just lost the #1 ranking to some really nice person.
Gentle.
Gentle man.
Deuce.
Back to deuce.
At 26.
It's actually 25.
25.
He was 25 years of age. There's no reason why he couldn't have come back. And
Look at this footwork. Talk about lots of little steps. Then gets on balance.
I know your coach was Robert Lansdorp growing up, right?
Right.
My coach was a
Advantage
great man by the
Dominikovic.
name of Antonio Palafox, who taught me to keep my feet moving till after the ball had actually bounced. Did you have a similar teachings from old Roberto?
You know, I can't remember the specifics, but
You were one then, right? Or two when you started?
4 hours a day. No, I started with Robert actually when I was 7. But just until you get set up just right before you go to hit. Monica Seles has terrific footwork. I can think of Michael Chang, always such great footwork on the men's side.
That's just too good. She was determined, Jennifer, there to win that point.
5th deuce. Great point for Capriati.
You know what I liked about it the most, though, was the fact that we see how big her forehand is, but when she
Advantage
stepped in,
Capriati.
she got a little bit off balance here, but she just did something very smart. She didn't try to hit it too hard. Maybe a couple of years ago when her confidence wasn't what it is now, she would have tried to whack that, but she just angled it off, gives herself break point.
Game Capriati.
On the second break point of the game, she gets the early service
game,
break
second set.
to start the second set. Smooth.
That's if you have to do it fast. Got to be ready for
Got to
anything.
show them that you
The
can
match
do
may
it
be
both
over here.
ways.
See, it's almost Capriati 40 love. Yes, and she hits a no winner.
Holding it love and 2 love. Stefano likes it.
Capriati leads 2 games to love.
6-2 and now 2 love. Her opponent, Evie Dominikovic. Born in Sydney.
That's cruel. Setting a break down, a second serve. She's just trying to win points here. Come on, lady.
Somebody the other day called a second serve foot fault on match point down.
Well, that's even worse.
Just doing their job. And they do it well, don't they, Johnny Mac? Have you tried it? Have you ever tried it? Have you gone down there?
Listen, it's a thankless job. I mean, there's no doubt. If you do a great job, no one notices you.
No, I'm serious. Have you ever gone down there and tried to call the serves or?
It's better to
15,
call them from where we are. We're much more used to it than actually to have to sit there and call. It's very difficult, extremely difficult with these big hitters, these monstrous second serves.
You know what's interesting to me is when the Mac cam's on. I mean, you see a lot of missed calls or wrong calls.
That's see what I've been trying. I mean, thank you. I appreciate
oh,
that.
Set that up on a
Bill,
tee
you
for
can go now. Take
5
a break.
doubles. Yeah, I have been. Enjoying listening. to you guys
That's actually
talk.
just 1 shot or 2 shots. They do that before. They do that in the truck. You know, you never see where that ball actually came from. I mean, who knows what it is?
Put it on a loop.
It's just a loop.
Put in the out one.
That's
Make that one good.
That's right.
Saves 1 break point. Now, this might be ball game for Dominikovic. She's broken here.
Game Capriati.
Excellent work.
Capriati leads 3 games.
6-2 and 3 love. Capriati. Capriati out quickly. 15 love.
30 love.
Now 30 love, and she's now picked up the pace and is rolling through. 45 minutes the time of the match.
What was the score in the Safin match? About 4 or 5 all first set?
Exactly. Heading to the first of the 4 tie breaks.
Again, Capriati.
That just shows how much better Capriati's playing, how much more confidence. Last time they played, John Capriati won 8-6 in the third. That was back in '99 when she started out the year ranked 101.
This has got to be, I mean, clearly Jennifer's a much different player, but Dominikovic, that's not a, she must not be feeling too good about things. This is not a good effort for her then.
And actually, this year is her best year on the tour. She broke into the top 100 for the first time.
Which is all the more reason it's disappointing that she's getting blown off the court here, and it looks like she'll be off the court in 5 minutes.
Her first U.S. Open.
Now that's a great shot. On the dead run, coming up for the winner, and I like that backhand slice she had in the middle of the point as well. A couple of shots before that last forehand, she had the slice, and look at the left wrist. Hook around the outside of the ball to get the angle.
Dominikovic made a very poor assumption that she was not going to try to get that next ball, and she was sadly mistaken.
15 seconds.
But that's really the difference, you know, playing at that level. She's ranked 67 now, playing players 50 and beyond most of her tournaments. And, you know, at this level, Capriati, Venus, Serena, they're going to track those balls down and come up with winners.
Two break points.
It's an advantage growing up in Florida. It's always windy playing down there, and she's not bothered a bit.
Again, Capriati.
Another break. When we come back, Jennifer will serve for the match.
5 games to love.
Evie Dominikovic has not won a point on Jennifer Capriati's serve in this set. Two quick ones for Jennifer. 30 love. She's 2 points away.
30 love.
There's one.
30-15.
Just great depth from Jennifer.
40-15.
2 match points.
Game, set, match. Capriati.
That was quite a show.
6-2, 6 love.
Jennifer played very well. That last serve, 109. Nice, loose, relaxed serve. She's feeling good. Family looks on.
Steven's sweating already. Hope he can live up to his expectation in the mix. Well, we We still, now how do we pronounce that? We figured out Ruana Pasquale against Fout.
Fout, number 201 in the world.
Things looking good for Jennifer. Right?
Looking good for Jennifer right about now.
That's a pretty gaudy Grand Slam record, 21-1. So Jennifer Capriati is through. This amazing story of her comeback continues. Andre Agassi is up next. Back day for the Open in a moment.
On the women's side of tennis has been fashion. Jennifer Capriati is going to be wearing some new Fila stuff, and here to talk about her stuff is Hal Birch from Fila. So what is this? This is the outfit she wore the other night, correct?
This is the outfit that Jennifer wore on Tuesday night for her first match. It's the new Fila US Open licensed performance tennis collection. She really likes the whole design and fashion world, so we allow her to contribute to that, and we take her input and we make the revisions, and then it ends up as the collection that you see here today.
All right, Hal Birch, thank you very much.
And for those of you at home who can't make it out to the U.S. Open in person, you can still get that exclusive Jennifer Capriati line of Fila U.S. Open tennis performance apparel by calling the number that you see at the bottom of your screen. And that's just another special service from USA for our viewers enjoying the U.S. Open. Again, that phone number, 877. For those of you that have trouble transferring what non-U.S. Open is, I hate when they do that. You know, when you rent a car, it's 877-987-6736. And in the studio, and some nifty apparel. You look very nice.
Thank you.
Jennifer Capriati. It took, what, 51 minutes? What, you have a play to go to, or what?
No, actually, I'm playing mixed doubles today with my brother.
So you just wanted to get stuff out of the way?
Yeah, I didn't want to get too tired. I want to save for that match.
But we'll talk about mixed doubles, because with Martina Hingis, you also played and won there. But you play a very fast style. Some players like to slow it down. Why does that seem to be working for you, or why has that worked for you?
I don't think about it.
Really?
I mean, that's just my pace, and that's the way I've always played, and yeah, that's just my style. And there's a couple other players that play fast
and
also.
you prefer to play someone who plays fast like you? I imagine someone who takes their time might be annoying.
Well, no, not really. I mean, if they take a really long time, I mean, then I think it's annoying for anybody. But you know, I can handle whatever. If they have a certain pace, I got to respect their pace, and you know, I have my pace.
And it's a good pace so far. And the performance level at the start of the year, how you got out of the box here with the 2 Grand Slam titles, and then you hadn't won since the French Open. But how do you maintain that level of intensity when you set the bar that high to start things off?
Well, I guess since the French Open, I haven't won a tournament, so I think I'm really eager now, and I miss winning a tournament. And
you get used to that, don't you?
Yeah, I definitely get used to it. And so, I mean, at the Grand Slams, that's where I want to play my best tennis, anyways. And you know, that's why I just get fired up, and it's hard not to get fired up, and especially here.
What are some of the things that you can do to, not that you don't want to win other events or matches, but to save it for the Grand Slam events?
Well, I think it's just planning the schedule right, you know, not playing too many tournaments in a row. You know, I don't play a lot of doubles. I know I'm playing doubles here and all in both events, but I don't play a lot of doubles, and you know, I just try to space out my tournaments.
Yeah, and speaking of doubles, you play with Martina Hingis, we mentioned. You play with your brother, right, Steve, a little later. Now, usually, like in a relationship, somebody has to lead at a certain time. So who's in charge when you're out there playing doubles with your brother, Stephen?
Actually, I played with him in Wimbledon, and you know, I thought I'd be, you know, everyone would expect me to be the leader, but he was telling me what to do on quite a few shots.
Probably the guy thing, right?
I think so, even though I'm the older sister. Still, he's sort of macho when it comes to that, and that's fine. I mean, just let him do his thing, and I mean, he's an excellent doubles player. I mean, he plays doubles in college all the time. And
it's fun for him, and he also helps you with your game. I know John McEnroe was a guy who said he didn't like to practice at tournaments. He would use doubles as kind of his practice. Being this busy in doubles, it's obviously good for your singles game.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm not going to spend that much time on the practice courts anyways, and it's tough because there's so many players, so it's hard to get the times and everything, and coming out to the site. I mean, I think match practice is the best practice kind of practice anyways, so.
All right, we appreciate that. And again, what do you choose? How do you choose your apparel when you go out, especially for a big event like the U.S. Open? A certain color scheme? Somebody help you with that?
No, I mean, certain colors maybe Fila wants me to wear, but you know, there's the red collection also, and it just depends. There's a dress also I haven't worn yet, but it just depends on a night match. day match, how hot it is if I wear sleeveless, collar, or just how I'm feeling it. If I'm feeling thin or whatever, I'll wear a dress, so it just depends.
All right, well, whatever you're wearing, Jennifer, it's working. Keep up the good work. Thanks for coming by again, all right? We talked to her twice in the last couple of days. That's good. Hopefully we'll talk to you a lot more. All right, coming up.